Hi, I'm Steve, you are you, and this is Digivice. Yesterday we spoke about keywords. Today we're going to be focusing on ranking factors. So what actually gets your website ranking? Basically, there are over 200 ranking factors, but there's primary ones that have been sort of highlighted. They're things that Google like a little bit more than the others. Google doesn't really give us a lot to go by. A lot's through experimentation. Some is through Q&As with the Google search team. If you want to learn a little bit more about ranking factors beyond this short video, check out anything by Matt Cutts. He is a Google search engineer who provides little tidbits of information about how you can improve your ranking, but again, they're not specific because the idea isn't for them to provide you with a step-by-step instructional guide. It's more to say, if you do this, it could have an impact. If you do this, it might have a bad impact. That sort of thing. So a lot of these ranking factors have been developed or discovered through experimentation. And the most common, the most prominent ones that come out on top are content. So developing great, high quality content is a sure way to make sure that you future-proof your SEO. Now, creating content is one thing. Creating a good content that is also SEO friendly is another thing, and we'll discuss that in a later topic, or you can head over to our blog and there's a article on how you can write for Google. The next big ranking factor, so content, high quality content is on top. The next one is link building. Link building is basically getting people to link back to your website from their website. That doesn't include Facebook, it doesn't include Twitter, Instagram, what have you. Those links are good to have back to your website, but they don't really do anything for your Google ranking unless you go viral or you're having a lot of people follow you, people share your content, that sort of thing. It's mostly that's going to impact if you're using a social media strategy to rank your website. That's a very low ranking factor. It is a ranking factor, but it's low on the tier. It's better to use a social media marketing strategy rather than using social media as an SEO strategy. That's not to say that they don't combine as well, though. The point behind all of that was to get you introduced to links. So links are another major ranking factor, because it creates authority and expertise. It shows Google, hey, I have good enough content that other people will link to it. And effectively, that's what makes the web as well, because it's a web of websites that connect together, and Google basically goes through and tries to give you the best content based on that web of information or cat videos. The next one, what was the next one? On-page SEO. So basically, if you have great content, you're getting plenty of links, that's going to do massive wonders for your rank in Google. But if you have a badly developed website that doesn't have good code, it doesn't follow a nice navigation, so people get lost on your website and get annoyed because they can't find what was suggested in your title, which we spoke about title tags. in a previous session. So basically, if you make your website SEO friendly, which includes good code, not using Wix or Weebly, those sorts of websites, because they might eventually get better, but unless you pay for their SEO, which I haven't had a lot of experience with their SEO package, but I have had experience with Wix websites by themselves. They're terrible. The code is not great. They're very difficult to rank in Google because of that reason. So code is a big thing. Matt Cutts again has said that WordPress by itself is a good place to start. He says that the way that WordPress is designed lines up with what Google has in mind for a good website. He also suggested that a bare bones WordPress is better than having a whole heap of plugins. So I'm not sure how that will look if you want a lot of other functionality with your WordPress website if you choose to go down that path. Navigation is also important. There's nothing worse than getting onto a website and trying to find something that you really want to look at, or you want to make a purchase, or you're ready to get that thing, but you just can't find it. Google hates that as well, because the point, the whole mission statement of Google is to provide information that is relevant and of high quality to its users, which are searchers, which is like you and me. So if that user has a bad time on a website, they pick up on that. They want to capture that information so that they can rank that lower, so that the user doesn't have to experience that and potentially blame Google for having listed that. Just going back a couple of steps, so another massive ranking factor is user experience. So this ties into navigation a little bit. It also ties into, it's basically everything combined. So the links, the content, the experience on the page, all of that is user experience, which if you provide a good user experience or visitor experience or customer experience, whatever you want to call it, they're going to rank your website better, because it's all about providing the best information in the quickest way possible in a way that is aesthetically pleasing as well. Now, that doesn't mean that you should have rainbows everywhere and the site should be a $5,000 to $10,000 masterpiece that puts Michelangelo to shame. It can be a blank website which has the key information, navigates really well, and just looks good. It's about using that white space well. So to wrap everything up, because I'm not going to go over the 200, there's a lot, but these are the main ones. So creating high quality content, link building, otherwise known as backlinks in the SEO industry. That might be something that you've heard of before. If not, then backlinks is what that's called. Getting your on-page website, your website SEO done well, mostly through navigation and the code, the content we've already mentioned, and overall the user experience, how they feel interacting with your brand. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.